right. So this is the worksheet here. It says use the figure for exercise 1 through 4. Use the given information which lines you can conclude are parallel. State the theorem or postulate that justifies your answer. All right, so actually, you know what I'm doing? I'm gonna pull them up from our notes. And then I'm gonna throw the theorems and postulates inside. So yeah. All right, should work. All right, so there's your theorems and postulates. All right, we have the converse corresponding angles theorem. So, right, if you have corresponding angles and they're congruent, then right, they are parallel. Right. Same thing for alternate interior. We've gone over same side interior. Right. If same side is supplementary, remember that's the difference for this one. Right, so if they're supplementary for same side interior, then we can say they are parallel. Okay. Then if two lines, so then alternate exterior. So what you're doing is for these ones, you're literally just trying to justify looking at the angle. So it says angle 1 and angle 4 are congruent, right? You just got to figure out. So for number 1, you got to figure out which theorem tells you that. Well, we look at them, right? If we were using E as our transversal, and then S and T as the lines we're trying to prove parallel. So we're trying to prove S is parallel to T. Okay, so we want to prove S is parallel to T, and this is by, if we look at angle 1 so in angle 4, they're alternate. Why is it? Alternate exterior angles. Right, angle 1 and angle 4. Right, so they are parallel because angle 1 and angle 4 are alternate exterior angles, and they are congruent. Okay, so essentially that's what you're going to do for 2, 3, and 4. Right, 2 and 3, you're going to, so number 2, okay, I'm going to do it in red. Right, you have 2 and 3. Right, so if you have 2 and 3, you're looking to prove that D and E are parallel. And then you got to tell me why, right? If we jump to number 4, it says 5 and 8. So angle 5 and 8, right? What type of angles are they? You got to figure it out. Tell me what they are. And the two lines that we're trying to prove parallel would be S and T, right? With transversal D. Right? So we want to prove S is parallel to t, and then you got to give me the theorem. Okay, and then I guess we could might as well do 3. So 6 and 7. We're saying 6 and 7 are congruent, right? So T is their transversal, and then we're trying to prove D and E are parallel. So you just got to tell me why. Okay, but I'll leave it at that, and I'll let you guys finish those, but hopefully number 1 helps you set it up. You have the theorems and postulates on your right side. You're not going to use the parallel transitivity and parallel perpendicular lines for these ones, but I thought I'd give you the, those theorems anyway because they're from our notes. So any questions, guys, on number 1 through 4? All right, just tell me which theorem or postulate proves these parts. Okay, so if it's easier for you, say you want to for number 3, right? We're doing 6 and 7. So if you want to pull out all the lines, right? D, E, and T, right? And then fill in 7 and 6. Right? If you want to only pull out those lines, then that might help you out easier to figure out D and E are the ones you're trying to prove parallel and figure out why they are parallel. Okay. All right. Next one is the flow chart. All right, so again, the flow chart, the top box is your statement, and the bottom is your given. Not given, sorry. How you want to prove it, right? So it's your, reason. I couldn't figure it out in my head. So reason. So we have statement and reason. Okay. So you can see, right, in this given, right, C is parallel to D because it is a given. So it's our statement. And then saying it's a given is the reason why we can put that statement there. Okay. I'll go through number 5 with you. So let's do this together. All right. So this says same side interior angles are supplementary. So we want to look at this and which ones are same side. Well, 3 and 4 happen to be same side interior. But, right, what does supplementary means? Add to 180, right? So we're going to say measure of angle 3 plus measure of angle 4 equals 180 degrees because we know they're supplementary and they're same side interior angles. Right. This down here is also a given, right? That's coming from right here. Angle 1 and angle 4 are supplementary. So by definition of supplementary angles, we say their measures can add up to 180 degrees. And that's where they get this next part from right here. All right. The next part, they substituted in. Instead of both of them being equal to 180, since they both equal 180, they can set them equal to each other. So we set our top, this side right here, equal to 1 and 4. Then they used the subtraction property of equality, so they subtracted 4, measure of angle 4 from both sides, and it cancels out, or zeroes out, and it just becomes measure of angle 1 is equal to measure of angle 3. Now, if we know their measures are equal, that means they are congruent. So, right, definition of congruent angles tells us angle 1 and angle 3 are congruent. Okay. Then it says angle 2 and angle 3 are congruent. How are angle 2 and angle 3 congruent? Well, those are vertical angles, right? They share the same vertex or intersection, but they are not touching. They're vertical angles. And we know vertical angles are congruent. So vertical angles are definition of vertical angles. Now the transitive property tells us if 1 is equal to 3, and 2 equals 3, then we can say angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. So angle 1 and angle 2 are congruent, right? And we can kind of see that in the picture how we filled out the arcs. And then the last thing is, well, since their angle 1 and angle 2 are corresponding angles, right? This tells us we can use the converse of corresponding angles theorem to say that A and B are parallel because their corresponding angles are congruent. Okay, so that's the 5th one. Guys, any questions on that? Okay, there's, I believe, 2 more problems. So we'll set this up together. Okay, it says in exercise 6 and 7, what is the value of x? Oh, for what value of x is L and M parallel? Which theorem or postulate justifies the answer in this case? Okay, so what we need to do is solve for x. Right. First, we need to look at the 2 angles, right? What do we know about them? Well, these angles are alternate exterior angles. Right? So, if they're alternate exterior angles, their measures are equal. So, we can set equations equal to each other. Right? And then, so I'm not going to finish it off for you, but I'm going to say 2x plus 2 equals 3x minus 63 and solve for x. Right? Let's set up number 7. Right? This angle here and this angle here are same side interiors, right? They're on the same side of the transversal, and they're on the interior of L and M, so same side interior. Right? That means their measures add to 180 degrees. Right? So we can do 2x plus 20 plus 6x plus 24, and they add to 180, so they equal 180. Solve for x. Okay, you need to finish these off, right? So we kind of set up, we did 1 together. We set up 2, 3, and 4. We did number 5 together, and we set up 6 and 7. So they're all set up for you. I'm going to post these on Classroom. You should be able to finish this within like 10 minutes, honestly. So you have today to finish it, and then all of it's due on Monday. I believe tomorrow we're going to start the 2.3 notes, if I'm correct. Yeah, I believe tomorrow we start the 2.3 notes. Let's look at our agenda. Hopefully you guys do look at the agenda. Oh, no, I lied. So we're actually going to have a quiz next week. Well, starting Friday, you're going to be able to work on it Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. So tomorrow we're going to meet and kind of go through the 2.2 Math Excel and maybe the worksheet for like all the worksheets and stuff for 2.1 and 2.2 to kind of get you ready for that quiz. Okay, and all of this is going to be in second quarter. So that being said, all right, first quarter ends on Friday. I need all your work in by Friday, guys. Okay. Grades go in like Monday night. So any missing work, I've emailed you. I've emailed your parents. I've sent you reminds on your Google Classroom if you're missing anything. You can go to Aspen, see if you're missing anything. But starting second quarter, I'm only going to allow late work up to like 2 weeks. Okay, each day it's going to be like 5 points off. All right, so um, keep that in mind. I've been accepting everything since like day one, but that's only for the first quarter. Second quarter, you guys got the hang of this stuff. You should be able to be on track and catch up. Right, once first quarter is done, like you're starting off blank, blank slate. Right, complete your work when we do it. Right, don't get behind. It's not worth it. Show up to all these Google Meets. I'm going through the Math Excels. I'm going through the worksheets together. We're preparing for quizzes together. We do all the notes together. Show up to these Google Meets. If you're not showing up to the Google Meets, I'm not going to do one-on-ones with you. Right? If you don't show me the effort and show up, right? Unless you have an excuse and you want to email me and tell me why you can't come to the Google Meet, right? But I'm taking attendance on these. I'm seeing who's showing up, who's not showing up, and I'm not gonna go back like 3 weeks on notes because you didn't show up to the notes meet. Okay, so this is like class. This is class time. You need to show up. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. Please complete the rest of this worksheet. I'll post it in Classroom, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay. Have a good day, guys. Bye, guys.